Hey, it's Ramon. Here's something from the Michael Berry Show you may have missed. Brought to you by Oops Steam Cleaning.
The Michael Berry Show.
This is going to come off as very bad, but I'm not here to say things that are popular. Do you know what we spend too little time in this country talking about? Thrift. I've heard it said of our federal government employees in D.C. that, you know, these people, they've missed a paycheck and they don't have anything. They don't have a dollar to their name. Now, what we're supposed to do is gnash our teeth and flop around. But let me ask you, how did we get to this situation? If you just started a new job straight out of college, okay, I can see that. But if we've got a nation of people living beyond their means, you can't spend everything you make because eventually you're going to lose your job and you're going to get laid off. You're going to have an illness that wasn't planned and in the short term, maybe long term, isn't covered by your health care. You're going to have an automobile accident. You're going to have an unexpected expense. If you put 10 years of savings from when you're 30 to 40 versus 60 to 70, it's a world of difference because of the time value of money, the compounding of the growth over a long period of time, and what that does to the original corpus. It's amazing, but until you see it, visually understand it, or visualize it and understand it, what no one is bringing up here is, you know, when you're a cabinet appointee, you have to have a background check. They have to make sure that there is nothing in your life that would make you subject to blackmail, for instance. And the reason is because you don't want people in positions of authority who would be easily susceptible to bribes or whatever else because they can't meet their bills. Think about the dangers of a federal bureaucracy staffed by employees who can't pay their bills. Now, I'm not talking about they can't pay their electric bill and their water and a basic grocery bill. I'm saying they're taking more vacations than they can afford. They're living in housing beyond their means. They're driving vehicles beyond their means. They're spending at shopping malls beyond their means. And how many people in a situation like this furlough, if you didn't have one paycheck set aside, or two, or three, Dave Ramsey might come across as an old fuddy-dud to a lot of people, but he's preaching the gospel. That's why I'm glad that he's teamed up with a lot of churches. And they're offering his program through the churches. I've never been through his program. I did read his book years ago, and Ramon did as well. Man, I'm going to tell you, we need some beans and rice and beans for this nation. We need some folks to understand you can't live on 100% of what your take-home pay is. You can't do it. You've got to live on a small percentage of that and put aside 6 months. If this furlough was going on 6 months from now and people couldn't pay their bills, fine. If you're literally living paycheck to paycheck and you're making more than $50,000 a year, that's a lifestyle. That's a decision. You're not a victim anymore. I know that makes me a bad guy because I make a whole hell of a lot more than that. I got that. But guess what? I don't live on 100% of what I make either. And you shouldn't. That's why I don't have a private jet, Ramon. See, that's the problem.
MichaelBerry.com